What's up, tankers, and welcome to another Armor Warfare review and gameplay video. Today's video we're gonna talk about the Russian tier 10 tank destroyer, the T-15 Armata. It was developed in the 2010 and it's still ongoing. There were like 5 vehicles built up until now. So, as we talked about in the last video with the T-14 Armata, the Armata vehicle family does not only consist of the T-14 main battle tank. There are also other variants planned or developed, with the next best one being the T-15 Armata Heavy IFV, because this is what was supposed to be, a heavy IFV, not a tank destroyer. Now, the T-15 is an extremely well protected vehicle, at least that's what the Russian sources claim to be. The layers of passive composite armor and the arrow shape of which was chosen to maximize its effectiveness are further enhanced by cutting-edge explosive reactive armor and APS. The engine compartment, fuel tanks, ammunition storage, and crew compartment are also separated from each other by armored internal plates. The vehicle is equipped with a boomerang unmanned turret, armed with one 30mm 2A42 cannon and 6.62mm machine gun and 2 Cornet missile launchers. One of the most interesting features of this module is its primary ability to engage flying targets, something that the Western IFVs are capable only as an afterthought. So the Armata platform caused quite a stir with its appearance, being the first truly original armored platform in decades, and the first one not having its roots on the Soviet era MBTs. In 2015, Russia announced there would be thousands of Armatas in service by 2020. Unfortunately, the Armata program was plagued by serious issues, ranging from the need to import a number of Armata's essential components to the lack of production's ready engine, and also the producer of the Chaika engine that was intended for this platform intendedly went bankrupt. And the worst problem, however, was the lack of a proper assembly line. By early 2020, all existing Armata prototypes were more or less handcrafted with the construction facilities. By far the most expensive part of the tank development, hopelessly behind schedule. So the first Armata are currently scheduled to enter real service in 2023, although this deadline is likely to see even more extensions. Several sources point out that the T-15 is unlikely to become the standard replacements of all the BMP's class vehicles in service. That role will be covered by the Kurganet AV. Instead, the T-15 will be reserved for high-intensity combat and for elite Russian troops. So in game you get this tank from the Marat Shishkin line. You get it from the BMD class Tech 3. You go with the BMD first. You get the Tier 3 BMD. You can opt for the BMD 1B, BMD 2, Tier 5, BMD 4. All the BMDs here are really good, even the BMD 1, the Tier 3, I guess. They're all stealthy. You can opt for more stealth or more troop compartments or everything else, but the tank, the AFEs they are very enjoyable to play. Next you change on the tank destroyer class at the Tier 8 with the Ramka and the BMT2 at the Tier 9, BMT 72. They're both quite good, very good. I would say pretty overpowered in my opinion. Not really overpowered, but very good. You don't have problems. You have nothing to complain about. They don't have lack of mobility, armor, or damage potential. You can enjoy these tanks at their full potential. That's what a damage dealing class should be. That's what a tank destroyer should do. They should be doing damage, so damage it is then. The T-15 Armata, once you get to the tier 10, you can go for the you can opt for the rate of fire increased for the missile launcher or the ATGM targeting system, which launches two ATGMs simultaneously but decreases the rate of fire and the launcher reload speed. So yeah, I would suggest this one, or I don't know, maybe I don't know, in some cases for PvE, if you want to go for single ATGMs, you can go for this one, I guess, with for better reload times. But for me, burst of damage is more important than long-term damage. So yeah, as soon as I see the enemy, I want to burst my damage into him, not to make a long-term schedule for damage. So because this game is like a fast-paced FPS games, not like other FPS games where damage is taken slowly. So yeah, you can also have the thermobaric warhead for the ATGMs. You unlock it just before the ATGM launcher upgrade, which is pretty good against squishy targets with much HP. And also you can ruin some modules even if you don't penetrate, even MBTs. Even if you don't penetrate the MBTs, you still do some module damage and some splash damage, which is quite annoying. It makes them lose repair kits, and yeah, they will have to wait for another cooldown for the next repair kit, like 1 or 2 minutes. So yeah, for an MBT, it's just quite annoying. And you have like a magazine of full 4 ATGMs. So yeah, once he repairs the modules, he will probably have a second repair kit, those who play with second repair kits, and he will use the second one, and you will put another module damage into that one. So yeah, you basically ruined all his repair kits. So yeah, that's quite a nuisance. The barrel overheat rate is reduced by 50%. That's another upgrade. And just after dispatch with the Gatling gun upgrade, yeah, they introduced this upgrade as well. So yeah, you burst your damage once your weapon gets overheated. You will wait some time for the weapon to cool down. So this one just enhances that period. The aim time is reduced by 10%, not quite considerable upgrade. The engine upgrade, which as you can see improves full traverse, which is most needed for this tank. And the troop compartment, which after dispatch also they changed the pro tip. The base capture rate is increased by 25%, and the repair rate while standing still is increased by 25%. So yeah, and the universal upgrade also. Now in terms of retrofits, I go for the rate of fire, so I can this also affects the ATGM reload time. So yeah, it's quite good. 12.5% reload time, and with a improved aiming circle. The acceleration and engine hit points for this tank needs I need all the speed I can get and all the mobility I can get. Also, went for the turret traverse speed by 10%. Actually, I'm gonna change. I think I'm gonna change this one to something like aim time. Yeah, where is it? Where is that? Firepower or retrofit? I think. Yeah, the turret traverse speed. So yeah, no, not really. No, I need the much turret traverse as possible. You want to go to flank the enemies. Once you are engaged there, you must benefit from all mobility you can get. So yeah, you need to change your turret as fast as you can once you get to the flanks and burst the damage and get on with it. And also the force retrofit is the survivability kit with the ramming damage decrease. And damage to crew decrease, because I don't use a medical kit. and damage to internal components as well. So it also protects the ammo rack, the engine, and the ammo rack, the engine, and other internal modules. Like I think like breach is also an internal module. I'm not sure about that. So yeah, because I don't play with the medical kit and I need this one as well. Once I get engaged in combat, I need 2 repair kits. Maybe I can get shot in the track and my operation to flank the enemy is annulled. So now I just don't need to give up so fast. Also for the gunner, I chose the ATGM control for the missiles, for the ATGMs to have better control, and obviously, and the turret traverse speed, again enhanced with this one, so I can turn my turret as fast as SAP once I get to the flank or the rear of the enemy. And for the driver hold traverse, of course, and an acceleration in off-road terrain. This is also enhanced by my synthetic oil, which increases my acceleration and hold traverse, and my max speed for 5%. In terms of commanders, I guess Ophelia is the most aggressive one and the best suited for this tank because it's a very aggressive tank. I don't know even what else can I advise you to choose. Maybe you can go sometimes with Sabrina, so you can smash the more with play with more thermobarics and smash the enemies in the face. You can cause quite a lot of fires and ammo racks, yes. Other than that, I really don't know what commander is best suited for this. Maybe this one, I think. Not really, I don't know. I won't recommend even in PvE, even everything. Just for this tank is, in my opinion, is a very aggressive tank. So yeah. Also, as a special ability, you can opt for a lot of choices. You can go for the supercharged harsh kill APS. Again, I'm playing an aggressive role in this tank as a damage dealer. I want to get in the rear and flanks as AP, and I need all the protection I can get. So Ophelia is one protection, and then the supercharged harsh kill APS, which intercepts all incoming projectiles, safer autocannons one, and some lower dimension projectiles. But yeah, you can the ATGMs and the high caliber shots are quite nasty. So this one ensures extends your life duration by 10 seconds for those situations. You can also opt for the infantry set, the Optar Sniper and 90 squads. Not really, maybe in PvE, I guess that I would recommend that, but in PvP, I don't know, at higher tiers, something except sniper, everything becomes quite obsolete. So yeah, maybe sniper, but sniper in this one requires you to get in some early aggressive positions to deploy the sniper, and this tank has no camo for that, so everyone will spot you, they will start shooting at you, and up until you deploy the sniper you will probably get shot or drop down to low HP, so it's not really worth it for this tank. So yeah, I think so. And top speed, yeah, maybe, I think so, but again, this one has a cooldown like 120 seconds. This one is 1 minute. So yeah, I guess this one is better than top speed. My speed is enhanced by all these retrofits and my driver skills. Because in terms of mobility, max speed is 84 kilometers per hour. It's decent, not super fast, but it's decent. It's all I can say fast. But that speed is also enhanced by this retrofit, of course. So I'm talking about my current situation, and the acceleration is 3 seconds, so it's quite decent. I also boosted that as well. And of course, this tank also suffers from when you go in off-road terrain, all those bumps drops your speed by 30-40 kilometers per hour, so it really cuts you down in those mobility situations. But nevertheless, it's not one of the most mobile tanks in the game. So yeah, it's a really big tank. It's like in my opinion, it looks like when you look in the rear and you drive it while in the game, it looks like a SUV. So yeah, like a futuristic SUV. So yeah, it's not really the most mobile intended tank. So yeah, damage per minute, it's 17k. The mobility, yes, hit points, in terms of hit points, 3.1k, also quite decent. This type of for this type of tank. The camo overall, yes, 20, but that once you get to like 50-60 kilometers per hour, you drop down to 10%, to 0% because the tank destroyed loses camo. The accuracy, this is also, the stats are intended for all the machine guns, so yeah, the aim time and the accuracy, it's quite decent. Could have been better for the machine gun, but it's okay. Now with the Gatling gun patch, all you can get is like all the penetration you can get on the side of or rear the enemy. You can get them like 200 or 300 meters at the maximum. So yeah, this accuracy indicator is quite irrelevant because on close distances it's not that big of a difference. So yeah, talked about retrofits, talked about crew skills, talked about tech tree. Now let's get and see this tank into action. The gameplay, starting on Operation Prometheus. Play with 2 tier 9s, 2 TTBs, 1 T14-152 Armata, and the Gao, which I'm expecting some competition from him in terms of damage. He's the only one here who can out DPM me. So I decided to take a little defensive position here, and I'm waiting, and I must confess that I was waiting for some squishier targets. That's why I took this position, so I can make a machine gun out of them. But instead I get an 80DU and a 15 Armata. The guy finishes him off on blind because he was grey eyeballed and we cannot see him because of the smoke. I loaded thermobarics, and sometimes it hits on K2, sometimes it doesn't. It's yellow there, but now it didn't. So, but when it does, it just sets him on fire and wrecks his ammo rack and his engine and every module possible. I decided to change position, like going up here, so my machine gun doesn't suffer loss of penetration. Instead, I could have taken the position like G8, but it's a bit like further away, so my machine gun loses penetration. It's more than 300 meters, I guess. So as you well know, after the machine gun patch, machine gun will lose penetration. Basically becomes like you can only hit some squishy targets like crabs or sphinx over 300 meters, but the rest you're just hoping them to turn their rear on you, so you can make good penetration on machine guns. But other than that, I switched to that position, and I see the last Leo. He's the last obstacle in this wave of enemies, so I decided to go and finish him off with a double tap. 1645 there. One-shotted him, and then preparing to go for the other side. I'm hoping that my teammates will go on E5 so they can I mean, like my MBTs going E5 so they can hold the line there while I go on E2 to flank the enemies that are facing them. Along the way I destroy the helicopters for the secondary missions. And the spawn is already launched there. The wave of AIs are already in the cap, so just in time for me to finish off this crab. There's a 300 meter distance, and there are still some yellow parts on the crab that I cannot penetrate. That's hilarious on the machine gun penetration. Sphinx as well. And I managed to put a last second double tap on the K2 after behind before he went off the reach there. XM is a real funny position there. I think it is rear, and put my unload my machine gun up into his rear. So yeah, my machine gun was overheated, so I decided to switch back to ATGMs. But before I do that, the enemy was already finished. Sphinx manages to bounce my one of my rockets. Double tap the lever again there. Armata, I cannot, unless it turns his rear on me, I cannot turn his side. It's far away for that. It's like 100 meters. You can see 200 meters here is all yellow. XM's rear is also not a problem for 200 meters. I go for the cap. 15 Armata, the 14 Armata put smoke there. Cannot see the enemies, but I decide to go for the caps, even double tap the PL deck. I decided to go for the cap even if he put smokes, because probably he got focused, and I managed to take one from the hunter. I could have hidden from like behind the 14 Armata to avoid taking damage and take the cap faster. I see a pixel for the XM turret there, which is like facing its rear towards me. We took the cap, and I know, like, I played this map before and I know that XM is like one of the last AIs there, so I decided to go for the next spawn where it will be on this operation. And a very good position here, which I played before on these containers here. You can also go for the enemy's rear here, because the MBTs are holding the line there. I got spotted, someone was in my right, I saw the AI's ATGM trying to hit me. It got stuck on the containers there. Crab is here with the Sphinx, very good news for me. I see the Sphinx is stuck here, but I put the APS active because I know, I saw on the map, I spotted the TTB and he has a magazine. I don't want to take like more than 1k damage from him, because I didn't have time to finish the Sphinx before I took 1k from him. One shot at the Draco there with thermobarics, blown his ammo rack there, his engine, his old modules. I make a mistake here with aiming on the hunter. I knew that my ATGM launchers were one of my ATGM launchers was behind the container. Now I pop smoke and finish this hunter. And the map is like pretty buggy. I don't know, sometimes it just finishes the operation like way earlier than it should be. There were some AI left there, which I could have done more damage to them because they were facing me with their rear. But nevertheless, sometimes this map works, sometimes it doesn't. We play with, we got what we got from this game, and managed to support our team. 32k damage, 9k experience, 235k credits, blue star and shooter medal, 12 kills, 7 assists, and 11 enemies spotted, and that's it. In conclusion, the T-15 Armata is an sports vehicle. Its role on the battlefield is to get into the flanks of rear of the enemies. You want to get in like 2 versus 1 situation and eliminate the obstacle enemy or the threats as ASAP. So it's like its brother, the Kinzhal, except the Kinzhal can pen some shots in the front and cause a lot of module damage just by its machine gun. But this one is better for once you are in the flank or the rear, it just gets rid of the enemy way faster than the Kinzhal. It's the same playstyle as the GAU. It's not a camping tank destroyer like a Vilk or MGM. And yeah, it's pretty good what it does. It just eradicates the enemy. Once you get again, once you get in a 2 versus 1 situation where there is a stalemate between your team and the enemy, you can go and make the difference in just like 3-4 seconds. So yeah, we'll eliminate the target, assuming that you have the hit points for that. So yeah, it's an aggressive playstyle, and yeah, it's I would I would yeah, armor is pretty good. The turret ring, it got fixed after the patch, so yeah, it's not one of the most impenetrable tanks in the game, but yeah, it's decent armor. You can save some, you can bounce some shots on the upper plate and the rest of the tank, but also the side is quite vulnerable, and the lower plate is quite penetrable. But all all in all, it just gets the jobs done, and it will get quite messy. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on the next one with another NBT video. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next one.